Here we go. Today we're talking about simple interest. Chapter 4, Section 4. Guys, this is all about banks. Do any of you have a bank account? Let me see. Interesting. All right, keep your hands up if that bank account is a savings account. Yeah? Okay, interesting. And I'm going to teach you about banks and what they do. Banks like to get your business. They like for you to have an account in their bank. And so they make stuff tempting. So we're going to pretend, guys, just watch, you don't have to write this down. How much money are we going to put in our bank account?
$20.
$500 in this bank account. That's a good amount. This is our savings account. So the bank that we choose to use has a percentage rate. What's the percentage rate in there? Can you see it in the problem? 3%. That's simple interest per what? Per year. So every year, at the end of the year, this is how the bank says thank you. They say, thank you for using our bank the whole year. We're going to take how much you put in, use the 3%, and put a little bit more in there for you. So just for letting our money sit in their bank, they're going to put a little money into our account. Sounds pretty good, right? Now 3%, is that big or little? That's little. However, if you can be really disciplined and you can leave your money alone, the longer you leave it, do you think it'll make more money? Yeah? You want to be thinking about your bank. So let me show you this. Because this right here is the formula we're going to use on every problem. It's the simple interest formula. I equals PRT. Okay, are you ready? I want to hand them here. Does anybody want to guess what the I stands for? It's actually up in the story problem. Joy, what do you think? It's totally interest. And if you want to be more specific, it's simple interest. So I is simple interest. All right, look my hand up there. This is a word that actually has two meanings depending on how you spell it. So I'm going to give you the one that it doesn't mean. Do you know who G.M. Sturzer is? The principal. But you can spell principal two ways. Do you realize this? You can spell it principal like G.M. Sturzer with an A-L at the end. Or you can spell it principal with an L-E at the end. So they sound the same. Spelled different. They have different meanings. Principal is how much you're putting in your bank account. So the principal would be this one. That's our principal. All right, R. So we want to try to guess the R. I don't know if it's up there. Do you want hints? It's 4 letters. We did a section a couple of chapters ago that said unit something. Oh, that got hands up. Tyler, what do you think? Rate. Yes, that one's totally the rate. Guess what? Right here. Oh, I want to change the color so I can match it. Right here, the rate is always this. How much the bank is going to give you. This is the percentage. Okay, last one. T. Let me think if I can guess. Do you already want to guess? It's 4 letters. It has something to do with this. Emily, what do you think?
Time.
It's time. Good job. So I equals PRT. Simple interest equals principal. Oh, I want to ask one more question. I almost gave it away. Guys, think about this. What is this variable P doing to this variable R doing to this variable T? What are they doing? They're all multiplying, so we just multiply. So I almost said it when I was describing it. Simple interest equals principal times rate times time. Okay, you ready to watch this? So I, simple interest, we don't know. That's how much the bank is going to give us for using their bank. So let's put I for this problem equals, shout out, P. What number in there stands for the P? 500. That's how much we're putting in there. Times the R. Stop. Make a stop sign. Like, if you're telling someone to stop, you just stick your hand in their face, right? Stop. This is where you've got to stop on these problems. Right here, you always want to change this to a decimal. So 3%, I'm just going to write it huge. 3. Right now, just the number 3. Where's the decimal? Right now, the decimal's right here. So we don't write it because it's after it. But to change it to a decimal, Donna, what do? You move it once, move it twice. Boing, boing. So we put the decimal here, we just moved it. What goes in this blank spot?
0.
All right, so final is 0.03. Don't forget to bounce it how many times? 2 times. Okay, so let me make room for myself. So don't times by 3. 3 and 3% are not the same thing. So technically we have to times by 0.03. And then times it by the time. How long are we leaving our money in there?
3.
Okay, grab your calculators and type it in. Now I'm going to switch this to a 2 problem. Okay, keep working on it. Matt, what did you get?
I got
$45? It's not bad, right? Just for leaving our money in the bank. Do you agree with me? Not too bad. $45. All right, that's going to be question B. What's the interest? That's how much the bank is giving us. I added a question B. After 3 years, what if you keep your money in there and you don't take it out? What's your balance now? Perfect. Okay, did you hear what they said? Repeat it. What is it? Just add it to your original amount, so the balance would be 545. How many of you? I think I'm picking up what you're laying down. That makes sense? Okay, open your workbook, page 104. You can open up those workbooks. We're on page 104. Thank you for having your workbooks. Okay, let's do problem number 1 again. Not again, let's do it together. So number 1, let's still use our percent proportion. So if you look at the directions, we're earning simple interest, we gotta figure out the interest. So right here, guys, copy this down. Letter A, you've gotta use this. I equals PRT, write it down, write down the formula, you will want it. So under this, we don't know our I equals, shout out, what are you gonna put instead of the 400? Oh my gosh, I just said it. What are you gonna put instead of the B? 400. Uh-oh, be careful with this. Because this 7% is really what as a decimal?
0.07.
Oh, thank you for remembering the 0 in front. It's gotta be 0.07. When we bounce that decimal, goes right here. So times it by 0.07. And then how many years?
3.
Okay, grab your calculator, don't shout it out. Type it in, hold on a second. Make sure you write this down every step. Cooper, what did you get?
84.
84. Guys, clap time because you got the same thing. Nice. There is our letter A answer. Okay, letter B is the balance. So Alec, talk us through. How did you figure out the balance?
I added 84 plus 400 since that was already in the bank, and I got 484.
Perfect. So 2 answers on number 1. Letter A and letter B. How many of you? I got that. I got that. Okay, try number 2 on your own. Number 2 on your own. You've got the steps up here if you need to double check number 1. Go, go, go. So right here, it is 5.6, right? What do we have to do to that decimal? Boing, boing. What do we put in this blank spot?
0.
So make sure you're using 0.056. Okay, so we're still on page 104, but now, number 3, guys, circle this word. On number 3, our directions changed. What are we looking for on this one? We're looking for the rate. So we're still going to use the same interest formula, I equals PRT, but this time we're going to solve for R. Okay, so here we go. Let's start filling in the blanks. This is I equals 18, so it has to go where that we put 18 right equals, we put in place of the P. 100 times R. Do we know the R? No, let's just put times R then. We don't know it. We'll come back to it. Times, I just noticed something. 18 months. Guys, banks always do the simple interest at the end of the year. So they count it in years. So we've got to change the 18 months to years. I heard it up here. Is that you, Joey? What was it? 1.5. Do you agree that 18 months is 1.5 years? Yeah, because 1 year would be 12 months, right? And we've got 6 left over, that's half a year. So let's times it by 1.5. Okay, stop. Make sure you have this written down in your workbook so you know exactly how to do number 4. Stay with us. Okay, ready? Now it's all about our calculator. You want to do what you can first. So times the 200 and the 1.5. Hand in the air. Lauren, what'd you get? 300? Hey, that's really nice. So this was 300. We still have our times R. And back on this side, we still have our equals 18. And this goes back to our old chapter. How do you get rid of it times 300? Charles, what do we do? Yes. So make sure you have this written down. Now to get rid of the times 300, inverse operation, divide by 300, divide by 300. Stop and be careful. Are you going to type in 18 divided by 300 or 300 divided by 18? Perfect. Make sure the 18 goes first. Way to not be tricked. Okay, Joey, you get every single step down. I don't want you to write, work in your calculator until you have every step down. Josh, what did you get? 0.06. 0.06. Alright, so R equals 0.06. How many of you got the same as Josh? 0.06? Okay, let me stop and go backwards. When they give, it's always in, look. When they gave it to us at the beginning, what was it always in? So we've got to go back. So if it's 0.06, you've got to do something. Corbin, what do we do? Perfect. So this time you bounce the decimal, boing, boing. So it's going to be R equals 6%. And I heard that. Good job, guys. How many of you have got all those steps right now? You got it? Okay, number 4. Try it on your own. You've modeled number 3. Now try number 4. Go for it, go for it. Number 5. Number 5, which one are we looking for on this one? T, the time. Okay, before we do anything, let's deal with this 4%. So it's like this. I want a hand in the air. Tell me what to do before we do anything else. Alec, what should we do? Which way twice? To the left. Good job. 1, 2. So let's use 0.04. Don't forget that. PRT. What's the I? Perfect. What's the P? 750. What's the R? 0.04. And then what's the T? Do we know? I'm just going to write over this times T. We don't know. Okay, everything I have in the board in black, will you make sure it's in your workbook too? Make sure you have this set up. Okay, do what you can first. So grab your calculator. Type in these two first. 750 times 0.04. My goodness, you're fast. Lauren, what'd you get?
I got
30? Oh, that's convenient. Because I think the rest, technically, you could do in your head. So now we have 60 equals 30 times T. Guys, how do you get rid of that times 30? Okay, divide it by 30. Divided by 30. Josh, what did you just say? 2. Yes! 60 divided by 30 is 2.
years.
I like that. Let's put years in there. T equals 2 years. Okay, any questions on number 5? We like blaze through that one. Okay, make sure you have the steps down. Try number 6. Same setup. Go for it, go for it. Okay, hint on number 6. How many of you remembered to deal with this part first? Did you remember to do that? Uh-oh, how many of you? Dang it, I forgot. Did any forget? Okay, well, we can fix it right now. So right now it's 5.5, but Lauren, what do we do to that? Don't forget. Perfect. So don't use 5.5, make sure you use 0.055. How many? I did it. I remembered. Okay, good. How many of you are done? Do you have an answer? Number 6? Final answer? Question out? Oh, don't tell us. Don't tell us. But I'm glad you have the final answer. Okay, we're going to jump to number 7. You ready? Here comes number 7. Okay, in this, I don't know about you, but I'm like a skimmer always of math problems, which can be good, kind of dangerous. Are you ready? Look at the very, very last word. What's the very last word? So what are we looking for?
R.
We're looking for R. So write down your formula. I equals PRT. And then we can fill in the rest, because now we know we're looking for rate. Okay, this might be a little bit tricky. Look in your problem. Do you know which one is the I out of all those numbers? What do you think, Sarah? 500. No, but I totally would have done the same thing. 500 is always the one that you put in the account. It's the double word. The one that has 2 meanings depending how you spell it. Which one is the 500 for, guys? So you can shut out. Principal. That's for the principal. So the I would have to be which one, guys? It's interest. So the interest is how much the bank is paying us. So they're going to give us $15.75. as long as we have already put in $500 for the principal. All right, but do we know the rate? No, let's just put times R. We'll get back to it.
That's not a year, it's only 6 months.
Oh, it's not a year, it's 6 months. So what should we do? 0.5. We gotta do 0.5 because it's half of a year. 6 months is half of a year. All right, so let's do what we can. Let's times these two. Guys, don't use your calculator. 500 times 0.5. That means what's half of 500? There you go. So that's 250. So we've got 15.75 equals 250 times R. How do you get rid of that times 250? Divide by 250. Thank you, Cooper. So divide by 250 on this side. Make sure you don't type it in your calculator backwards. You've got to do 15.75 divided by 250. Make sure you're staying with us. I want to see every single step. Cameron, what did you get? 0.063. 0.063. Stop and be careful, guys. Is that our final answer? We're close though, right? Johnny, what do we have to do? Last step. Perfect. Move that decimal. Final answer would be 6.3%. How many of you? I've got all that down. Did you stay with me? Okay, we're going to transition to a quicker activity, so let me explain the rules. Homework.